Morning, good morning. Happy Saturday.
Buenos días.
Good
Good
morning. Happy
morning.
Saturday.
Good morning, ladies. Happy Saturday.
Yes, I'm like, I got 10 more minutes to get in and joined. And I'm like, let me just join now. Like, hopefully they're on. And y'all really was here. Oh my God, yes.
Hey man, just like I tell all the business people I work with, like, man, be on time, be early, like it's just I don't know, everything matters to me. And it's like so many places I've been to go see people, they say it starts at 7. But it doesn't start at 7, it starts at 7:15. So then people start showing up at 7:15 because they realize it doesn't start till then. So then the people who are supposed to be doing it don't start until 7:20 because the people are coming at 7:15 and they don't want to start. They're like, well, let me wait till people get here. But you don't realize you keep backing it up because you keep starting late, right? People don't, right? You're not there, you're not available, you're not on time, you're not early. So they just keep following you and you think you're following them, right? So yeah, we're on. It's on. It's up.
Exactly, period.
Yes. And that's why we're here early. So that people, if anybody wants to ask questions, talk about their week or say something or whatever, that's what it's for. Because at 7 we're on to what we're on to. But before that, it's like it gives a chance for people to come in and say hello or say something wonderful about their week or maybe ask a question about something. But that's what it's for. But you know, whoever has ears, let them hear. Whoever has eyes, let them see.
I actually did have a question. So, I am so sorry, but I just started reading Prosperity Through Spirituality, and I should have been read it when you said it because I really love it. But is that the only reading that you had for us, or is there something else that I could catch up on to?
Oh man, there's so many things. So many. There's a so there is there's there's two or three books by Franklin Warren Sears, FW, like Frank Warren Sears. There's one is called How to Conquer Fear. The other one is Everyday Experiences, and there's one more. It's on my computer, but I can't see it from where I am doing it now. But
Have you sent them to me before?
yes, and for
Okay. I'll look for them and I'll put them in the chat.
yes, those are really good ones. Neville Goddard's Law and Promise. The Law and Promise is a really good one. But yeah, we're always putting things in from way back for people to be able to look at and read and things like that.
Period. Thank you.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, Sarita, how you doing?
I am doing good. That's a lie. I'm doing great.
Oh, excuse me.
Doing great.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
that's the truth.
that's the truth.
I
Truth.
love it.
Truth, right, sets us free. Right?
Absolutely.
Look how freedom feels.
Woo, it's amazing.
It's
It's
amazing,
amazing.
it's amazing
Right?
to be in the world but not of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be able to
That's so true.
right? To be able to be here. We're not hiding on a mountain. We're not underground in a sewer. We're not some, person.
Sewer.
Right? We're here. We're able to enjoy the world that we're in, but it's because we know who we are.
Hmm.
So we can be here and actually have a good time and not be under the same rules and regulations of everyone else who doesn't know who they are.
Hmm.
Okay? Yeah.
That's so amazing. It's 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 like it's almost like watching a movie because when you see things that are, opposite of what I believe, it's like, oh, okay, I've seen this scene before. Different character, same character, different person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've been saying a lot this week. I've been saying this a lot this week, saying I try to tell people to put their emotions to the side,
Ooh,
emotionless, but to put them to the side because a lot of times, oftentimes, our emotions stop us from using the technique. Or
it's
right, we get so emotional that we focus on all the other things that actually don't matter and not the thing that does.
true.
So once we learn how to do that, once we learn really how to keep our eye on the law, so to speak, then we can be emotional. So it's like once you know that 2 + 2 is 4, as long as you understand that 4 is the truth, then you can feel after that, you can feel any way you want. So you can write down 4 when you're crying, when you're smiling, when it's raining, when it's snowing. All those other things don't matter because they're variables. They come and go, they change all the time. But the truth is the only thing that stays the same. And oftentimes our emotions stop us from looking at the truth. We get caught up in all of the variables, all the things that come and go and change. And so we're trying to have a stable life following unstable things, right?
Mhm.
So then to your point, you're like, okay, I see this thing and I recognize it's not what I want. So I don't have to deny that I don't like it. I don't have to try to hide from it or act like I don't see it. However, I'm not driven by it because
Right.
I'm not going to follow this thing because I know if it's not the truth, it's a lie. And if it's a lie, I'm going to be enslaved by this thing if I follow it. I'm going to now be under its rule, under its direction, and I'm going to have to do whatever it commands me to do.
Mhm.
So, yes, that is absolutely true. Absolutely true.
That's it. When you were talking about feelings and emotions before, I really had to dig deep because it was the part of me, like you said, that would allow my emotions to lead all of the like, and then I'm like, I would be off kilter because I let my emotions lead. And it's like, no, you don't have to have an emotion about that. You can think about that later, but what is really truly happening in this moment? And that's truly changed the game.
Isn't that wonderful?
It changed the game.
Yeah. Around like around where we live, there's a lot of people, it's a suburb. So there's a lot of people walking their dogs and stuff like that. And it's amazing if you just kind of use kind of that and that like this analogy. So seeing so many people walk their dogs, it's amazing to see how many different experiences a human and a dog can have together depending on their relationship. You see some people walking their dogs, you see some people's dogs walking them. You see people's dogs completely out of control. You see some people's dogs walking right next to that person like a soldier,
With
right?
no,
So
yeah, I seen that.
their dog's neck off. You see some people without a leash. It's humanity in a dog, and you see so many different experiences of the same situation, right? And it lets you know that the one who's supposed to be in control are you, and have you trained this thing that you're supposed to lead? And most oftentimes, no. Most oftentimes, no. And it's like, oh, now chaos is everywhere. Because you see this person, like, they don't have control of the dog, then I got to go the other way. Or I got to do this. It makes you feel so you just see how someone who's supposed to have control of something when they don't, how it affects them, how it affects the dog, and how it affects the environment, right? And it's kind of the same thing in the world. When you don't have control of the thing you're supposed to have control, you're affected, the thing is affected, and then your world is affected by both of those things, right? So absolutely. Absolutely. Well, happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. We're here. It's wonderful. We're up. We're on. So we are going to start with the first slide, which we're going to start off with a story, just so that you see how people like us, right? We already know what they not like us is. Well, it's nice to see the people who are like us and how things are done. Oh, no, it's down. It is right there. Yes. All right. So if you are able to read, just kind of put your hand up so we can have you read a paragraph or two and we'll keep it moving. But this is just to make sure everybody's, stays involved and all the other good stuff. Okay. Vanessa,
All right. All right. Amanda, go ahead.
Mm-mm. Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, this is a story about which some may say it would have happened anyway, but those who read it carefully will find room to wonder. It begins 1 year ago as I left Los Angeles to visit my daughter in San Francisco. Instead of the happy natured individual she had always been, I found her in deep distress. Not knowing the cause of her anguish and not wishing to ask, I waited until she told me she was in great financial trouble and must have $3,000 immediately. I am not a poor woman, but I didn't have much cash. I could put my hands on that quickly. Knowing my daughter, I knew she would not have accepted it anyway. I offered to borrow the money for her, but she refused and instead asked me to help her in my way. She meant by using my imagination, for I had often told her of your teaching, and some of my words must have struck home. I immediately agreed on this plan with the provision that she would help me help her. We decided on an imaginal scene we could both practice that involved seeing money coming to her from everywhere. We felt the money was flooding towards her from every corner until she was in the middle of a sea of money. But we did this always with the feeling of joy for anyone concerned, and we had no thoughts of means, only happiness for all. The idea seemed to catch fire with
Okay.
her. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I don't think we heard you, Lucky.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Thank you. Okay, just want to get everybody involved. Perfect.
Yes, yes, thank you. Sarita.
The idea seemed to catch fire with her, and I know she was responsible for what happened a few days later. She was certainly transformed back to the happy, confident mood that was natural to her. Though there was no evidence of any real money coming in at the time, I left to return home in the east. When I arrived home, I called my mother, a lovely young lady of 91, who immediately asked me to come and see her. I wanted a day's rest, but she couldn't wait. I had to be now. I had to be now. Of course, I went, and after greeting me, she handed me a check for $3,000 made out to my daughter. Before I could speak, she handed me three additional checks totaling $1,500 made in favor of my daughter's children. Her reason, she explained, that she had suddenly decided the day before to give what she had in cash to those she loved while she was still here, to know of their happiness in receiving it. My God.
Okay, next person.
Miss Karen.
It would have happened anyway. No, not like this, not within days of my daughter's frantic need and then her sudden transformation to a mood of joy. I know that her imaginal act caused this wonderful change, bringing not only great joy to the receiver, but to the giver as well. P.S. I almost forgot to add that among the checks so lavishly given was one for me too, for $3,000.
Good. Next paragraph too, because
The boundless opportunities opened by recognizing the shift of the focus of imagining are beyond measure. There are no boundaries. The drama of life is an imaginal activity in which we bring to pass by ends of life and dictate the event. If we are aware of the mood affirms will come to pass.
perfect. Perfect. So when people tell you, oh, you have to do something to get money, you can't just pray to God and sit on the couch, or you can't just pray to God and do nothing, or you can't just pray to God. Well, Rita's read a story. How did she get the money that she got? Did she ask for it? Did she ask her mom for it? It didn't even, her daughter asked her for it, didn't ask her grandmother for it. She said, well, she decided all of a sudden. Decided all of a sudden. But what does it say? Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God. In all, above all, and through all. God is not a physical body. It is a consciousness. It is the awareness called I am. So when you become I am, you're in desire. I am the person who has $3,000. I am the person whose bill is paid. When I am that, that is what it say, the mood that creates the circumstances and situations of your life. This is a mindset. This is understanding how to think, right? This is a mindset to say, I can solve my problem by being in awareness what I desire to be. I am that thing. I'm the end result of that thing. That is what gets, that is your mind. That is your omniscience. That is your all-knowingness that you're activating to say, oh, okay, well, the earth is mine and everything in it and on it. So, if I believe myself to be this, what's the best way I can physically represent that? Like when you wake up in the morning, you say, I have to go to work. What outfit do I put on? I'm wearing in physical form the physical outfit of what I'm aware of being. I'm going to work. So I'm going to put this on. If I'm staying home, I put something else on. So the physical reflection, what I have put on is the result, is the effect of the cause. What I'm thinking, I am. I am going to work. I am this, or I am not that, right? So, somebody have a question? Okay. No.
No. What? You saw movement?
Yeah, no, it's okay. No worries.
Okay.
So my point is saying, what I'm about to say is, there's a difference between, she said what? Transformed her. Change and transformation are not the same. They're not the same thing. Change, moods, change, feelings, change, laws, right? Or in humanity, they're really rules. Rules change, right? Rules are made to be broken. They change, right? They change. Transformed, when you're transformed, it means you are basically, you're going back to your original state. It's like a factory reset. You're going back to your original state. This is who you really are. When she was not who she really was, look at how she felt. And look what was happening to her. So what did she have to do in order to experience her desire? What did she have to do in the story? What did it say? What did they do?
Use your imagination.
Okay, so what does that mean? So what did that mean? That's like, what did that mean?
They assumed the end. They put themselves in that place where they wanted to end up, of having the money.
So what you just said is what they
Believe.
yes, but it is what, yes, their belief is what they
Felt.
their okay
Saw.
felt is what they
Mhm.
Imagined?
is what they did.
Oh.
That's the doing. That's the doing. That's what God does. That's what I am does. Remember, I am is not physical. I am is expressed physically. I am is not physical. I am is consciousness. So what does consciousness do? Consciousness does, it says, okay, I am right now, I am here. I am now going to be here. I'm going to think of myself in the end. Right now, I'm in the beginning saying, what do I want to be next? Well, I want to be that. So what do? My doing is now thinking as my end. I am now thinking as my end. I am now that. I am the person who has $3,000. I am the person whose need is met or whose desire is granted. I am the person who has the business. I am the person who has the relationship. When you first say you are, you're saying it from a location of I am not. But that is what moves you from the location of I am not to the location of I am. You can't get you. Most of us wait to say, you know what, I'm going to believe it when I see it. But that's like saying, I am going to wait to say I'm there when I get there. But if you don't say I'm going, how do you get there? Right? If you don't ever make up your mind to get off the couch, how do you ever see whatever off the couch represents? You always, God said, let there be light when it was
Dark.
dark.
When it was dark.
When it was dark. She said, I have now $3,000 when she didn't in her hand, right? What humanity calls real, once it holds it, Consciousness calls real once it thinks it. And you have to decide which one of those you're going to be. Are you going to be, I am Dennis? Well, Dennis is not going to call it real until he sees it in his hand. But I am Dennis. I am says it's real and so by I am saying it's real, then Dennis gets to see it. Dennis gets to see it. I am imagines it, envisions it. Right? Vision always comes before sight. I am always comes before Sarita. I am Sarita. I am Leanne. I am is always first. Whether you know it or not, like it or not, believe it or not, think it or not, I am. Your consciousness is always first. Your awareness of being something is always before you see it. So everything you see in your physical world is nothing but the effect or the outcome of what you have already been aware of. In our group, so you guys can't answer. In our group, I am. They now know what that means further. I am. To everybody else, what is, I kind of gave it away when I just said, when I was just speaking. What does I am mean?
God.
Okay.
Who
Okay.
who you are when you receive, not before you do it.
Who, say it again. Say it one more time.
Like who you are before you actually receive it.
What's perfect? There's one word in there that was perfect in your sentence. What is it?
Before.
Before. What's another word for before?
Free.
Free.
First.
First. What's another word?
Beginning, start.
Beginning. Start. What do all those words represent? If you were all these words before this thing, you're all these things before this. These are cause. This is whatever you want is the effect, right? Let's just say, right? This is the end. So if you were all these things before, first, beginning, start, you were what?
You were the shot giver.
You, okay? You were
The reason.
the reason, okay? The reason goes here too.
The beginning.
The beginning, that's here. So I am is all of these things. The cause, before, first, beginning, start. And how do we know that's true? Because what does it say in Genesis? In the beginning, what?
Was God.
Was I am.
In the beginning, God, right? Was I am. So I am is the beginning. So when you look out at your physical world, you're seeing the end of the beginning. You're seeing what you have been. So another word for I am is already. You're already. When you get a fever, right? When you get a fever, let's say, and let's just use the old school, not how we say things on here. But when you get a fever, what do most people say?
I am sick.
I am sick, or I'm getting sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what is the fever? What is a fever? What is
Symptom. It's a symptom. It's a symptom.
It's a symptom. So then the symptom is telling you what you've already been. The symptom isn't the cause. The symptom is letting you know you could have been, okay, when you get a fever, when were you sick? Was it an hour before? 2 hours before? A day? When was it?
You were already sick.
You were already sick. For how long?
The whole time.
Well, how long is that?
As long as you acknowledge it.
Well, no, you don't know. You don't know when you quote unquote got sick. You don't know. You don't realize it until the symptom comes, right? That's what draws or alerts attention to the fever is what alerts your attention to your health, to your body like, oh, something's going on. Because without that fever, you didn't know, right? But the thing that made the fever had to be there before you know. It was already. You were already. But in order to express a symptom, you had to already be, let's just say, sick. Or in order to be sick physically, you had to already be sick.
In your mind.
I wasn't saying it. You have to be it mentally.
I am already had to be, because I am caused the sick caused the symptom, right?
Mm.
I am is in the beginning, yes, of your sick too. I am is in the beginning of your sick too. The devil didn't make you sick. It's the belief in two things is what causes all the confusion. There is only one power. It can express itself in what you call good or bad, right or wrong, night and day, east and west, but there's only one. You can have two expressions of one thing, but it's not two things. It's not two things. You can have a banana, you buy it, it's right. You sit it on the counter for too long, it spoils. It's not two bananas. It's one banana with two expressions. And if you don't know the law of right, so to speak, you'll sit it on there too long and it'll go spoiled, and then you'll say that's the devil. The devil is the misuse of the law, is the misuse, the misunderstanding, the ignorance. We had somebody in our group yesterday and they said, not knowing who you are is expensive. I am not is expensive. Meaning, if you don't, you can say, I am not sick. That's fine. I am not, meaning not knowing who you are. The ignorance of your identity is expensive. It will cost you any and everything. Your time, your money, your health, anything that you think you want, you not knowing who you are will be affected by that thing in an adverse way. You won't be working your job will be working you. You won't be working your nerves will be working you. You won't be working your emotions will be working you. Like Sarita was saying earlier, once you realize I have a say, yes, you can be emotional about something. Yes, if you stub your toe on a thing, you can have a way about that, feel about that emotionally. Yes. But for you not to be able to control your emotions, for you not to be able to control your animal, you're at the mercy of the animal now. It's dragging you down the street. You're running after it while it's running through an intersection. The dog is at risk. You're at risk. Everything is at risk. Everything literally is at risk because this thing you are supposed to control is out of control. Literally everything is at risk. Everything that you're working so hard for is at risk. It's like somebody having a beautiful family and they're getting on drugs. Everything that you have is now at risk because of this thing. That should not even be a factor and definitely should not be in control of you. Well, I am is the most important thing. Who you are is the most important thing. And you are risking who you are because of your emotions that you cannot or you will not control, or you don't believe in control. Because of your emotions, your feelings, those are yours to control. You're not to be controlled by them. And you're putting everything at risk when you do that. Everything. Not some things, not the things you want, not the things you like. No, everything. Everything is at risk when you do not control the things you're supposed to control. And it doesn't mean beating, slapping, kicking, biting. It just means a conscious awareness of ownership. No, so like Sarita said, no, I can feel, but I can have an emotion about something, but I can say in this moment, what do I want with that? I can put it to the side. I can put it on hold. I can express it now if I choose to. I can change it. But I can't do that. I am. What can I am not do? What can I am not do? God, I got a problem. I do too. I just can't help myself. Now what you gonna do? Now where you gonna go? Let me say it this way. Let me say it this way. I'll just say it this way for the sake of it. What if God had all the same problems? What if God gave the same excuses you give? What if God kept it real? It's dark, man. I'm just saying it's dark out here. God, it's true. Don't you see it? It's dark out here. Well, then who's the genius that's going to say light? If all you do is keep talking about the dark you're in, who is going to say let there be light? If all you keep talking about your problems, who is going to start talking about salvation? Who is going to start talking about the solution? If all she kept saying was, I don't have $3,000, where was she going to get it?
She wouldn't have it.
She wouldn't have it. But it's not because she didn't have it. Because if she didn't have it, she could have never got it. She had it, but when she didn't realize who she was, she thought she didn't have it. Or she had to chase it. By how hard she worked, how much grinding she did, how many posts she put up, how many groups she was in, how many meetings she went to, how many churches she was in, how many this and associations. You either think you don't have it or now you're chasing it. So the first thing her mom did was what? Restore her to her right mind. What did it say? Be you transformed
By the renewing of your mind.
The first thing her mother did was renew her mind. And by renewing her mind, guess what? When she renewed her mind, she went from I am not, right? I am not, I am broke to I have it. I don't have it to I do have it. I am not it to I am it. The first thing she didn't say, the first thing her mother told her was not go get another job. It was not go work more overtime. It was not, well, why do you have all them kids? It was not, well, why didn't you finish college? It was not, well, why did you marry him anyway? It was not all those things that our friends and family and loved ones tell us about how to fix a problem. Because they're not really telling you how to fix a problem. All they're doing is they're either blaming you for it or giving you ways to cope with it. Her mom didn't do any of those. She said, okay, you want me to help you? Then you're going to do it with me. We are going to start identifying ourselves as the people who have it. We're not talking about why we don't, why we didn't, how come, why, well, whose fault is it? Well, they didn't do anything physical, whether it's in their body or blaming other physical people. The first thing they changed was their mind. She said, we are this. We just said we're this, and we didn't think how it was going to come. Now, when you're aware, once you're in that state, right, that is like I was saying this week, when you go from I am to I am, when you go from I am not to I am, when you're this new version of yourself, it is your mind's job to onboard your brain. It's your mind's job to onboard your brain. It's the omniscience of awareness's job to onboard your brain, because your brain doesn't know this new identity. It doesn't know it. So when you hire a new person, what are they supposed to know about your business or your company? What are they supposed to know about your operations? What are they supposed to know? They're not supposed to know anything, right? It's your job to tell them. So when you go from I am not to I am, or I am to I am not, I am a smoker to now I don't smoke anymore. I'm not that anymore. It can go either way. That's not the point. The point is, it is your awareness of being's job to onboard your brain, to say, because we're now this, let me tell you how this works. This is how we think. This is how we do payroll. This is when we open. This is when we close. This is our uniform. This is how much money we make. This is where the bank is. You onboard them according to the role they're going to play in your company. So your omniscience will onboard your intelligence, so that your brain, your intelligence now has all of the understanding of omniscience, so that the employee has the necessary understanding that the owner gave it. So if you're just hiring a janitor, you're probably not going to go over the books with them. You're probably not going to show them how to do taxes or things like that. If they're the manager, you're going to show them something different. If they are the co-owner, then they know something. Everybody knows what they need to know according to their role. Everyone does. Because that's what the owner does. Every time you hire a person, you give them the information that they need to do the job that you're hiring them for, right? Because they're your employee and they're operating under the title you gave them. Well, when she went from I am not, I don't have the money, to I do have the money, well, now her awareness is onboarding her. And guess who else it onboarded? Who else did it onboard in the story?
Her
Grandma.
mom and her grandma.
It really onboarded her grandma. Because neither one of them spoke to her, right?
Nope.
And what did it say? She decided the day before she decided. She decided after the granddaughter was transformed. You're not going to get anything until you transform. Changing ain't going to cut it. You being in a good mood for an hour or a good mood for a day, doing some affirmations for 10 minutes, while the rest of the day you think like, you insert any words you like, whatever's in your vernacular. Yeah, you go ahead, according to your faith, be it unto you. You go ahead and put your little situation in there. But 10 minutes of I am, and God is good all the time, every day, every minute, every hour. And 10 minutes later, when you walk out, all hell, look what he did. Oh, this here. Oh my God. Man, my boss don't even, man, they said, oh God, they laying off. Oh God, the union said, oh, there's tariffs. Oh God, look at the weather. The economy, oh, it's COVID. Well, a double-minded mind is unstable in all its ways. Let it not think it will receive what? Anything. Don't think you're going to get anything. So your little 10 minutes of affirmations with your workout outfit and your little headband on, and you doing it for 10 minutes, and then the rest of the day you complaining, saying the opposite of what you were saying, then don't think you're going to get anything. You're going to remain as you are. You're going to remain as you are. You can't say I am for 10 minutes and then go out the rest of your day saying I am not. All my bills are paid. All my needs are met. All desires of my heart granted. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I am the ideal. And then as soon as you get off, as soon as you feel, oh, that was so good. All right, well, let me get back to the real world. Okay. Okay. Right on. Right on. This is what this, you are exactly right. Where your awareness is, so shall you be also, right? I go before you to set a place that where I am, you may be also, right? Your awareness is always going out before you, setting a place for what it's aware of being. It's like when you invite some company over, you invite your parents over, you fix the room up. You invite your sister over, your brother over, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, whatever, people staying at your house for the holidays. You're preparing before they get there. You cook and freeze a couple things. You do whatever you do in preparation. Because where you are, they will be also. And they're going to experience what you set up. And you set up according to who was coming. Right? You're always walking into what you already set up. You didn't get sick out of the blue. You didn't become broke out of the blue. You didn't get rich out of the blue. You didn't become successful out of the blue. You walked into what you already set up, and you set it up by who you believed yourself to be. Who plans a vacation and goes on a vacation to a place that doesn't exist? Anybody? So that means you can only go to a place and plan for a place that you already know exists, right? So that means where you ended up, you already knew existed before you got there. So how do you think you got there? Right? Veronica?
Dennis?
Maybe
You're on mute, Dennis.
maybe he didn't mean to. All right. So, all right. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying to you. Will you pull up slide 1, please? I want you guys to see something. All right. So, reading. Volunteers, please put your hands up. And we'll go read a couple little stanzas and we'll go person. Okay.
All right. Sparkle Bailey.
Okay, good morning, family. Okay, the parable of the lost son. Jesus continued, there was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, Father, give me my share of the estate. So he divided his property between them. Not long after, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in the whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare? And here I am starving to death. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it, and let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' So they began to celebrate."
One
Okay.
person.
Sarita.
Meanwhile, the older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. So he called one of the servants and asked him what was going on. "Your brother has come," he replied, "and your father has killed the fattened calf because he has been back safe and sound." The older brother became angry and refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him. But he answered his father, "Look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who has squandered your property with prostitutes, comes home, you killed the fattened calf for him?" "My son," the father said, "you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead, and he is alive again. He was lost, and he is found." Oh, my God.
Okay. So, terms. It's important to understand the terms of the story so that you understand what it actually means, right? This book is one of the best books on the planet, if not one of them. But it is a book that it's almost like you need a decoder ring to understand it. It is written esoterically, so that exoterically you will think you're reading one thing on the outside. It's almost like you come home and you're to your house and you see somebody in the bed. So you know somebody's in the bed, but the covers are over their head. So it could be let's just say it could be any one of your kids. You don't know where your kids are. You got 4 kids and you don't know where any one of your kids are. You haven't seen any of them. You know they're home, but you haven't seen any of them when you first walk in. So you walk in somewhere and you see somebody with covers over them. You know it's one of them, but you don't know which one of them it is. Exoterically, you know it's somebody, but esoterically, you don't know who it is. Exoterically, you're reading this story. You're aware that something is happening, but esoterically, what's under the cover is what it's really for and what it's about. You want to know who's under that blanket. You're not just satisfied with somebody that you know is under there. Who? Which one of your kids is it? Right? You want to know who that is. That is esoteric. That is who is under the blanket. Realizing there's something there is exoteric, but esoterically, who is there? So exoterically, we are reading this story. It's talking about a man with 2 sons and all that. That's exoteric. Esoteric means who's under here. What does this actually mean? So for the sake of time, I'm going into it. Okay, so Jesus is talking about this story. So Jesus is your I am awareness. It is your I am awareness of being in you, right? And it's saying that the man is what I tell you. Every time you're meeting a man, a human, you're meeting a what?
A mind.
A mind.
So the mind has 2 sons, right? Well, what are sons or daughters? What are they?
Expressions.
They're expressions. So the mind has two expressions. There's two expressions always going on within you. There is the younger, and what did it say, Sarita? The older. There's the younger and the older. The father, their father is I am. It is the one governing the two expressions within yourself. Your awareness is governing the two expressions of yourself. Your I am awareness and Sarita. Your I am awareness and Monique. Your I am awareness and Erica. Your I am awareness and Amanda. Your I am awareness is governing two expressions, a younger one and an older one. Now the younger one said, let me separate my stuff and take myself somewhere. So we know what ended up happening to him, and he recovered. But the problem that he experienced came from what?
His mind.
Came from him.
Not knowing who he was.
Okay. And how did that happen? Or when did that happen?
When he separated himself from his father.
Separation. Separation is the cause of all demise. Separation is the cause of all your problems. Which one you call it, how long you've had it, separation is the cause of all things. When you separate yourself from your father, when Sarita thinks she is Sarita without I am, Sarita is on her own, and she is going to have that is the fall of man, the fall of humanity. You have now been kicked out of the Garden of Eden.
Thank you.
You have now fallen. And it's only going to get worse. Period. Right? Why? He didn't go out there homeless. He didn't go out there without stuff. He went out there with stuff and still ended up with the pigs. You don't have to start off homeless for it to get bad. But it will get bad. It will get there. Separation is the cause of all things. When you think I am is something else, but you are separate from the source. But you are out here working for resources. Wealth is not a physical thing. It is an expression of consciousness. And who is the only consciousness? Who is that?
I am.
God, I am. I am is the owner of I am is the source. Sarita is the expression. So the expression, when they separate from the source, you now, instead of being the source, you now chase resources. Because you separated yourself. You are on your own. You think you're human, so you're on your own. You're out there chasing all the resources that the source is and has naturally. Who did the son get the resources from that he took? From who?
His father.
His
Father.
That is what?
I am.
I am. So the only way you're missing the money you want is because you have separated yourself in mind from the source who has it. You have separated yourself from your awareness of your true identity, who you really are. And when you think you're someone else, you got to start working now. You got to start chasing. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You got to be on this live and this thing and that thing and this thing. You got to make sure you pay your union dues because you need representation if you're going to keep your job. You got to do this and do that and do this. You got to do all these things. When you start separating, you have to do all these things. Right? When he was out there in the world, what did it say? No one.
Except my father.
Nope.
No one helped him. No one gave.
Offered him anything.
Rita? Okay.
No one gave
No one gave what?
him anything.
Anything. No one gave him anything. All right, Sarita, we talked about it earlier, right? Mastering the law, right? Setting the emotion aside, mastering the law. No one gave him anything. What does that mean? What is that telling us?
That he wasn't looking internally, he's looking externally.
Okay. So, but what is no one gave him anything? What is that telling you?
He's suffering?
He didn't need it. He didn't need them to give him anything. He had everything already.
They don't have anything to give him. They can't.
The world doesn't have anything to give you, and you out there wrestling with it. You out there got 4 jobs with it. You out there working yourself thinking the world has something to give you. The world doesn't have anything to give you. No one gave him anything. There is no one but you. Everything you're looking at in the physical world is the physical reflection of your awareness of yourself and what you think that thing is. There is no one to give you anything. But only when you separate yourself from your Father do you think there is. That's where you start looking, because now you're outside. So now you're looking outside. When you leave inside, you're not going to look inside. When you separate yourself from I am, when you start saying I am not, meaning you start thinking that you're different from what you think and believe to be true, your identity, your true nature, that is when you get in this situation. So what did he say then? Father, against you, I have sinned. Well, Father is I am. Only against your own awareness did you sin, meaning did you make a mistake. You made a mistake. You made an error. As LaToya famously said back in the day, operator error. You've made an error. When you separated yourself, you just think it's money. Oh, well, I'm just thinking this way, but it's just money. Well, I'm just thinking this way. Well, it's just about my health. Well, I'm just thinking this way. It's about, you're separating yourself. And you think it's only in this area, or you think it's this or it's that. No, consciousness is binary. I know humanity likes to talk about things aren't binary. There's gray areas. There's vagueness. No, it's not. Not in divinity, not in your true nature. It's I am or I am not. What if people use this? You're either for me or against me. People don't even realize that's in the Bible. People are thinking like some kind of mafia slogan. It's in the Bible. Like Jesus was saying, you're either for me or against me. You're either I am or I am not. It is binary. It is 0 or 1. It's not 2, 3, 1.8, 1.4. It is 0 or 1. You either I am or I am not. He was with the Father living like that. And when he wasn't with the Father, he wasn't living like that, right? So he had to go back to the Father again to live like that. So there's only 0 and 1. Did you see a 2? Did you see a 3? Did you see anywhere else he could go? Did you see his Father gave him something? Nobody else gave him anything. It was 0 or 1. Right? So it's binary. This is binary. Don't confuse yourself. Don't let people pump you up into thinking that there's another way, that there's another. No, it's not. What does Jesus say? You can't get to my Father unless you come through me. I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. Not your friend, not your cousin, not your husband, not your wife, not your job, not your education, not your neighborhood, not your degree, not your labor, not your overtime, not your good ideas, not your hard work, not you being a good person, not you in the church and I'm a deaconess and a deacon and I'm a this or that, or I'm a mason or I'm a this or that. That's not going to save your ass. That's not going to save you. Let me get that clear. That is not going to save you. It's not going to save you. Your union is not going to save you. You being a vegan is not going to save you. Those things don't have anything to offer you except what you put in them. So that's what makes them valid. It's because you're valid. That's what makes them powerful, is because you're the power empowering it. So there's nothing wrong with them, but you don't praise the thing that you're making powerful. You're praising being something, but that thing couldn't be anything without you. You might as well worship your car. You might as well go out there and get on your knees and worship your car. What's that car going to do without you in it? Well, you might as well go on and worship this or that. It's the same thing. All the things you're worshiping aren't anything without you. If you put a $100 bill on the table, what's it going to do?
Be on the table.
So then why do we worship it? Then why do we worship money like it's something that can do something for us on its own, in spite of or instead of us, for us? What's it going to do? Nothing. And you spend all your time busting your back, your breath, your butt, your head, and everything else for it. Divorcing your wife, your husband, your kids, and everybody else for it. And that thing you put on the table can't move, can't breathe, can't talk. You can't talk to it. It won't talk back and nothing. You sacrificing all of the whole world and lost your soul. You lost your awareness of who you really are. There's nothing wrong with money. You made it. There's something wrong with you thinking that it's you. Like that it's something that you didn't make it. The only power it has is what you give it. The only place it's spent is where you spend it. You can give it to the car dealer or the crack dealer. The $100 ain't got no say. So it's not powerful. You're powerful. Right? So I have, Father, only against you have I sinned. Then what do you say? I am no longer worthy to be your son. I'm no longer worthy to express myself as the awareness of you, or as my awareness of self, as my desired self. So that's when you start feeling sorry for yourself. That's when you start saying, oh, woe is me. Oh, they don't understand me. I'm misunderstood. People don't like me. Oh, they don't get it. Oh, well, they don't. Well, they. What do you mean? The they that have nothing to give you? You mean those people? What are the people who have nothing to give you supposed to do for you? Anybody go to their 5-year-old and be like, hey, man, you've been here for a while. That rent is due. What you got on it? You know what? Don't worry about the rent. You know it's tax season, and I just want to know what you got on the daycare I've been putting down. Well, he or she gonna be looking at you like, what is taxes? What does that mean? Is that ice cream? What is that? Talking to that person about that thing, all it's gonna do is make you mad. Why do you think half the people you talk to make you mad? Because you're talking to a 5-year-old about something you shouldn't be talking to. You're talking to the wrong person about the wrong thing. You have not separated that. You have not made the distinction between who you're talking to and who you're praying to. You think you're talking to people, you're really praying to them. You're saying, well, if I talk to this person, it'll be all right. If I talk to this person, it'll be better. If I talk to this person, they can get me a job. If I talk to this person, they can hook me up. You mean the people don't have anything to give you? You mean those people? Oh, well, if I just call so-and-so, I'm really going through it. Let me call so-and-so. Great, you're going through it. You call so-and-so, but they're in the shower. Then what? They're in the movies. Then what? They're at the doctor or at the dentist. Then what? What do you do then? Now you messed up. What did it say? I no longer am worthy to be called your son. What did it say? Against you, I have sinned. Only against your own awareness do you make the mistake. It's not possible to hurt anybody else. Not really. In humanity, yes, but humanity is the effect, not the cause. And I am is the only cause. And all of us are I am. So it's only God hurting itself. It's only God helping itself. There is only God. That's it. There's only consciousness. There's only one creator, and that's consciousness. That's your awareness of being. I am. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God, in all, above all, and through all. So all of us, though we physically have a different expression, it's only one consciousness that's expressing itself as 8 billion things. There's only one banana. It's either ripe or spoiled. It's not 2 bananas. It's one banana expressing itself in 2 different forms. What does God say? I'm God. I do all these things. I create the light and the dark. I wound and I heal. There's only consciousness doing that, according to what is believing itself to be. So when you separate yourself, you now signed up for the wounded line, the pain line, the broke line, the sick line, the misunderstood line, the disrespected line, the they don't like me line, they don't understand me line, I can't get hired line, I can't find a job line. As soon as you separate yourself, you turn into the I can't. You might just start introducing yourself. Hey, how you doing? I can't. I can't what? Well, what are we talking about? We about to go somewhere. Yeah, I can't afford it. We about to buy that. I can't afford it. We about to go somewhere. I can't go. You must just start saying I can't. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I can't. Just tell the truth. Then everybody, you won't be confused about who you are, and they won't either. That's all, right? So this is the younger son. Now the older son, right? The older son, meanwhile, right, while going at the same time, right? Because there is only one time, I am, there's only the present. Meanwhile, That means everything is happening at the same time. So when you have a bill you can't pay and you now say that bill is paid, that bill is now paid right now. So when you look at that bill, it goes from the bill I couldn't pay to the bill that, thank God, that's paid. That's paid. That is done. Why? Because I am now looking at it as a transformee. I am not that bill ain't paid. I am that bill is paid. I can't afford it. Yeah, that bill. I can't afford it. I am says, oh, that's paid. I can't is separation. Separation got you out there sleeping with the pigs. And the pigs, like everyone else, don't give you anything. The animals or the humans don't give you anything. The world has nothing to offer you, as I am not, but a hard time. It's a nice place for you to have a hard time for as long as you choose. It doesn't have anything to offer you. That's it. So, meanwhile, at the same time, the older represents the physical. The younger represents the internal. The older represents the physical. I am the physical. What is when they talked about it? He said they were angry. The physical, emotion, emotional, angry, right? So he said, I've done all these things, and you can't, and I've done all these things, right? The awareness, I've done all these things, and all, okay, cool. But the father's like, no, hold on. Everything I have is yours. We're together all the time. This is not about you or against you. It's that your brother was lost. Your awareness was lost, and now it's found. Right? But this is the you that is critical. This is the you that's all about the work. This is the you that's all about the people pleasing. What did he say? Well, Father, I've done all these things. I done kissed your butt for all this time, and you gonna give the promotion to him? Yeah, doesn't that sound familiar? Like you at work? You done worked overtime. You done told the boss how nice they look, and you know they look like some hot mess. You done told them, oh, your hair looks so nice. You done told them, oh, you're getting in shape. You done told them all the nice stuff. And they still get a promotion to somebody else. That's what you sound like right after they do it. But you thought you had to do that. But that's what happens when you're the older, when you're the physical. This represents the physical, the lower mind you, the physical you. Right? This represents the physical you. The physical you is always arguing with the inner you, the younger you. Always. Let me give you an example. Will you go to slide 2, please? Here's the physical you and the non-physical you. All right, so Cain was born. With the help of the Lord, I brought forth a man. Right? So in this case, they're talking about the physical. In this case, they're talking about the physical. They're never really, but they're giving you a distinction. This is the two brothers. This is Cain and Abel. These are another two brothers. Right? There's Jacob and Esau. Those are the other two brothers. These are all the same story telling you the same thing, just with different brothers. Right? Cain is the older one. Esau is the older one. Abel is the younger one. Jacob is the younger one. What did Jacob mean? Usurp. To take over. That's what the younger one was looking to do in this story. They're trying to figure out who they are. So they're out there doing it. They're trying to figure it out. I know what I want. I'm trying to figure out how to get to it. The older ones are always, quote unquote, doing the right thing. They're, quote unquote, moral and ethical. But they end up with nothing. Because just like you saw in that story, it's not about the physical. It's about who you are in consciousness. Consciousness always reigns supreme. I am is always before anything else you say after it. I am is already. So you're already everything you're about to say because you're already aware of being what you're about to say, which is why you say it. So with the help of the Lord, with the help of the law, I brought forth a man. Later, she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now, Abel kept the flocks and Cain worked the soil. Abel kept, Cain worked. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil. So Cain brought some. The physical, the external, brought some of what he did. And Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of what? What does it say right there? From some of what?
The firstborn
Firstborn of
the
his
first
flock.
flock.
Okay, so what's the difference between the two?
Abel gave 10% first. Cain gave what was left over.
So then Abel did what?
He went within first.
Yes. And so when he gave 10%, he did what?
He prepared.
What does the 10% represent?
Tithing.
Tithe. He tithed. But remember, Abel is in. Abel is inner, the inner man. The outer man, Cain, your humanity is always trying to negotiate. So Cain brought some of the fruits as an offering, some. Abel brought an offering from some of the firstborn. The lady who's in the story, she had to change her offering. She had to change who she was being. She had to tithe. That is changing. She gave her old identity up to become the new. That is what her and her mom did. They tithe. They went from I am not to I am. They gave away that 10%, that last 10% of your mind. We only use 10% of our brain. They gave away that 10% to merge it with the other 90% of I am already. Now you have 100% of I am already. That's how the grandma says, oh, I decided. The human world always thinks they decide. They're not. You're not. You're the effect. You're not the cause. You think it's your idea. It's not. You're being driven by your consciousness, by your awareness of being. So the older, the physical is always hating on the inner. The older is always hating on the younger, but the younger ones always reign supreme. Because the younger is the inner you, it's your awareness of being. And it's showing you how this is happening. Oh, I got to work, instead of saying, shoot, I make this amount of money. Period. This is how much money is coming to my house. Period. I am that. And your awareness will call your grandma, will call your boss, because I am is everything. I am is your grandma. I am is your boss. I am is your husband. I am is your wife. I am is that. There's only one consciousness. But consciousness is always using the physical world to express what it's aware of being. That's why the physical world can't offer you anything, but it's only relaying back to you what you're putting out. When you throw a ball against the wall, the ball you got back is the one you threw, right? So then what you're seeing back from the world is what you're putting out. But people think reaping and sowing, people try to sow in the physical world first. You sow in the mind first. That's where reaping, sowing is first. What am I? Who am I? That is sowing. Because God is always before man, before humanity. Consciousness is always before the physical thing it expresses now, or that it first created. The physical world was not created by itself or by something physical. The physical world was created by consciousness. Your physical world, your reality, what you call reality, you are actually reality. I am is reality. The physical world is nothing but an expression of it. It's nothing but the outcome. It's the ball coming back off the wall you threw, that you threw it to, or threw it on, right? So let me go, please go back to that. So watch this. So the Lord looked with favor because Abel gave the first fruits. Oh no, please go back. Okay, right there is good. So Abel gave the first fruits. Cain did not. So Cain, so he said, but on Cain and his offering, he did not look with favor, because that wasn't a tithe. You didn't really change yourself. You didn't really give yourself. You gave what you wanted to give. You didn't really believe that your awareness of being can do that for you. So you're going to go out and work harder anyway. You're going to go out there and get you another job and another job. You're going to go out there and say, well, I'm just leaving. You're going to go out there and just quit. But you didn't give what it took to get what you wanted. You did not transform yourself. You changed yourself. You're like, well, I can do a little bit of this. No, it's either I am or I am not. It's binary. It's 0 or 1. The world has nothing to offer you. The only person that's going to offer you is your Father, is your awareness of being. But if you're not giving yourself to that, if you're not transforming yourself, if you are not becoming one with it, I and my Father are one. If you don't come back home, you're outside with the pigs. You're either in the kingdom or in the slop house. That's all you are. It's either one or the other. But on Cain and his offering, he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry and his face was downcast. So you didn't even do what you're supposed to do and you still got an attitude. You over here yelling at God, but you over here working because you're working 3 jobs, but you won't say, I got what I need. But yeah, but I can't say that. Okay, well then why are you mad at me that you're working 3 jobs? Why are you mad at me that your spouse don't treat you correctly? You won't identify yourself as the one who's treated properly. Why are you mad at me that they don't? Well, yeah, but I prayed a little bit. Yeah, but you haven't tithed. You have not assumed yourself to be the end completely. You've assumed what you could, when you could, yeah, but I'm not your friend. I'm not your boss. You can't part-time me and get a full-time outcome. This ain't gonna work. You calling into work sick every day, wanting your check. You ain't nowhere around. So Cain was very angry and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, the awareness said to Cain, why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? So the Lord is saying to Cain, why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? Will you not be accepted? What is the Lord saying to Cain? What is the law saying to Cain? What is the law saying to your physical body? To Leanne, to Dennis, to the thing that is tempted to separate itself in certain moments of time. What is the Lord saying?
If you think right and don't lose your mind, then you'll be like all that you want, you'll get.
Okay. But it says, will you not be accepted? Why did it say, will you not be accepted? What does that statement mean?
Whatever you're looking for, whatever you desire, will it not happen?
So, okay, but listen to the question. Read the question. What is the sentiment of the question? What is the spirit of the question? The question is what?
Why are you choosing this?
Yeah, but the question itself is what?
Why are you angry?
So what is the question asking? Or what is the question? What is the question making a statement about? What is the question saying?
If you do right, won't I do this for you as well?
Yes. So what does that mean? What is he saying to him? What is the question a reflection of?
Why are you mad when you caused this?
Right. If the question is rhetorical.
Yeah.
You already know better. Why are you acting like you didn't know better? Will you not be accepted? He's not talking to him like he doesn't know better, is he? Hello?
Yeah, he wasn't waiting for an answer. He was telling him like you're angry, but if you did right, you'd be accepted. So yeah, it was definitely rhetorical.
You already knew what right was.
Mm-hmm.
Decided not to do it. So why is your face put out? I told you that if you didn't do your homework, you couldn't go outside and play. Now, if you did your homework, you could go outside and play, right? Isn't that rhetorical? Aren't you talking to your child like you already knew what it takes to get what you wanted, but you decided to do something else, and now you got your mouth poked out at me? Isn't that what it's saying? Hello?
Yes, yes, that's what it says.
That's what it's saying. But what is right? Error is crouching.
Breaking up.
Your mic's acting up. Hold on.
Oh, I think it's fell.
No, it's on you. It's on the other side.
Oh.
I don't know what it was. Okay, we'll
Yeah,
keep that. I'll keep that in mind. Okay.
All right.
No, it's acting up. Do you want to go grab the other one?
All right.
It's breaking up, yeah.
Turn it off. Turn that one off, and then turn the other one on. Thank you for your patience, everyone.
This is so good. Because we get upset with things, and if we ask ourselves, why are we mad when if we do what we are supposed to do, we wouldn't have these problems. This is so good. So good.
Even the mic got upset.
Right.
Why you mad?
Why you mad? Lucky, is the computer making a sound or?
Sounds like something's coming out of the phone like static.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Turn it on. Turn the mic on. Make sure the light is on. Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's better.
Okay. All right. So Yes, it is. We are making these choices, but we're making them from a place of separation. So we don't understand what, because as soon as Cain didn't bring what he should have brought, he was separating himself. He separated his own stuff, right? Cain gave some of what he had, kind of like something somebody said, some of what he had left over. So you gave a little bit of what you got at the end, but you want God to give you the first of what it has. You're playing a game you can't win. God's not playing with you. This is a law. The law is no respecter of persons. God don't love you any more or less than He loves the next person you see on this camera. And every 8 billion, because it's all the same. I am is everything. So nobody's getting special favor or treatment. It's just you can't get off because you're given what you got left. But you listen to everyone else, everything else, believe everything else, believe everyone. Then you come to God after you got your butt whooped, and then you're like, oh, well, it's nice to see you. That ain't going to work. And so basically, Cain, the body, got mad at Abel and basically killed it. But that's basically, you get mad at your dream and you kill it. Oh, forget it. This is just too much. I'm just going to go ahead and stay. I'm just going to stay with him anyway because I'm just going to stay at this old job anyway because I'm just going to, stay at this old place anyway. Well, I'm just going to, I'm going to manage my pain. I'm going to manage my blood pressure. You just killed the dream of health. You killed the dream of love. You killed the dream of happiness. You killed the dream of joy, of peace, of prosperity, of wealth, of abundance. You killed it. You've literally killed it. That's why he went out there and, am I my brother's keeper? Am I supposed to think properly? Yes, fool. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because if you don't, you are going to experience basically nothing you like or nothing you want or nothing at all. Cain, Esau, and the older brother are all the same thing. These are all examples of the physical world, how your brain works, how what they would call your lower mind works, the left hemisphere of your brain. The left hemisphere of your brain, that's what all these represent. The younger ones, Jacob, the younger brother here, and Abel represent the right side of your brain. They represent the inner man, the one that is always aware of something good, something bigger, something better. That is always faithful, that knows who it is, and is always looking for ways to express it. That's what these represent. The older brother is always the one trying to do the right thing, trying to be moral and ethical, trying to say, well, you got to know somebody, you got to put in your time, you got to earn it, you got to do this, you got to do that. That's the older, that's the physical, that's the lower mind, that's the left hemisphere of the brain. That's the part, that's the 10% when it says you only use your 10% of your brain. That's the 10% that you have to move over to the right by identifying yourself as your desired end. That's what tithing is. Tithing is not money. Never has been, never will be. Not to divinity, now to the church and to everybody else, that's cool. But that's not what it actually is. And that's why most people who are tithing all the time still broke. Broke before they did it, broke when they're doing it, and still gonna be broke afterward. Because that's not actually what it is. It's not that you're a bad person, but that's just not what the book is saying. And if you're doing what the book is saying, then that's not what it's saying. I don't have a church for you to go to, so I don't know what church you go to, so I'm not hating on anybody. And I'm not telling you to give it to me instead. So I don't have any vested interest in telling you to stop doing it. I'm not telling you to stop doing it. I'm not telling you anything but the truth. You do what you want to do with it.
Can you say again what tithing is?
Tithing is, so you know how people say we only use 10% of our brain. Okay. 10% of that 10% of your brain is the left hemisphere of your brain. It's 10%. It's the left hemisphere of your brain. That is the logic mind. That is the lower mind, your carnal mind, right? That's the one that reasons, the one that tells you it's possible or impossible, or look at so-and-so. That's your 10%. The 90% of your brain is the right hemisphere. That is your inner mind. That's the soft part. That's your inner mind. That is the omniscient part of your mind. That's the all-knowing part. That is where it says Jesus is sitting on the right hand of the Father, or it says, I will save you with my right hand. It's talking about the right hemisphere of your brain. That is talking about the being of something. It's not logic. It's the awareness of being. I am this thing. This is what I am. This is what I believe in myself to be. This is who I am. That is the right hemisphere of your brain. That is where 90% of it is. That is being active. 10%, when you say, I'm broke, and you say, I want to be rich. Well, your logical mind's going to say how, who, why, when, where, what, and all the other stuff. You can do it if you get this, if you do that, when you do this, after you do that. Well, tithing is saying, all I have to do is give the 10% of my desire. What is it I want? I want to be rich. Okay, I am now going to give that desire over to my right side of the hemisphere of my brain by identifying. How do I do that? By identifying myself as I am rich now. I am now rich, or whatever you want to be. I am rich. I am healthy. You're living in the end. I am now that. I identify myself as that. I'm not on the left side trying to be, wanting to be, trying to figure out how to be. I now take that desire of being and I turn it into the awareness of being. I am that thing. That is tithing. Now you have 100%. The two have become one flesh. You are now seen as one in the eyes of the Lord. And then what does it say? And tithe and see, bring all the tithes into the storehouse. Well, where's the storehouse? In. Because the kingdom of heaven is in. Christ is in you. And what does it say? And see if I will not open up the windows of heaven. Well, the heaven is in you. So the windows of heaven being open is from the inside coming out. So what is inside of you in consciousness, what you are aware of being, is always being pushed out into what humanity calls reality. But the cause is inward. The thing that is coming out is coming from within. That's why it says, as above, so below. As within, so without. Above and within are the same. Below and without are the same. Above and within are cause. Below and out are expressions. Expressions are always second. They're always the effects of the cause, which is identity. So that's what tithing is. It is going from what you are to what you want to be. And it is getting rid of your logic mind and the how am I going to do it? When am I going to do it? Why am I going to do it? I give that over to my right side of the mind that just identifies itself as the desired end, as the thing that you want to be on the left. You now identify yourself as that on the right, and you sit there. You sit there. I am that. I don't care what I see, feel. I don't care what people say. I don't care what the world shows me. I don't care what my bank account says. I am. If I want to be rich, I don't look in the outside world. That's what your logic mind will do. Your logic mind will say, well, go look at your bank app. Well, you didn't get a raise. Well, it's not payday. Well, it's not this or it's not that. That's what your logic mind will do. And that is why most people don't ever get what they want, because they're unwilling to be it before they see it. But your logical mind will tell you can never be it before you see it, but you will never see it before you be it. So that is why you have to give your logic that I don't know how. You give the thought of your desire, and you move that over to the right side of your brain by identifying yourself as your desire. I am that.
Monique has a question.
Yes.
Well, you answered it, but I want to ask just to make sure I have it right. So you're saying give the 10% over to the right side. And my question was, how do I do that? But you said by identifying as. So is that what is meant by being still and know? Or do I meditate and just not worry about the bills or payroll? Just, it's not mine. Give it to Hal, which is the 90%.
Yes. Still and know is just, sometimes it doesn't literally mean you have to meditate. It doesn't mean you have to stop, but it is like slow down your logic mind, because your logic mind does not know. So knowing can only be in your divine mind, in your right hemisphere brain, in your what they would call your mind. Your brain is your left logic side. Your mind is your omniscient side. And when you know 2 + 2 is 4, look how calm you are. There's no doubt about it to you, because you know it's a law. It never changes. But when you're young, you're thinking, well, what is it? Well, what they say it was, what do you have on your paper? Right? When you're still learning, it's not the truth to you. So it could be 4, 3, 2, you're not sure, right? But when you know, there's a stillness that comes from knowing. It's a peace. Because I'm aware of being my desired end. I'm no longer thinking about wanting it, chasing it, trying it, working for it, earning it. That is what humanity does. Humanity earns, but you only earn when you separate. When you start thinking you're something else. Because would you say, if I give it to my right side, well, whether it's on the left side or the right side, you are I am. So you're already I am anyway. But if you keep it on the left side, you are I am not. When you move it to the right side, you are now I am. I am that thing. I am rich. The two, I am and rich, become one. I am rich. I want to be rich. There, want means not means separation. So you have to go from separating to one flesh. That is what when it talks about marriage, it's talking about consciousness and your awareness of being. I am conscious, just period. Now I'm aware of being. I want to be something. I want to physically express myself a certain way. So that may be wealth, or it may be a relationship. I'm going to take that thing that I'm aware of being, that I desire to be, and I'm now going to merge myself and identity with that. I am married. I am successful. I am. But marriage and successful require a being, right? You can't say, oh, married. Well, can you call married? Who is married? Who is that? Right? It's only meaningful when you attach a person to it, right? It's only a subject. You can't call it, you can't touch it, taste it. So then the only thing that makes married alive is a living thing. But what comes first? I am married. I am is playing the role of being married. It's aware of being. So it's giving life to this thing called marriage, this concept called marriage. The concept is just like a gene. It's just potential. It needs a living thing. It needs a thought to make it alive. So tithing is going from I am not to I am, or I am to I am not. It's just transforming yourself into the being that you want to be or don't want to be. That is tithing. Going from your logic mind to how am I, when am I, how's it going to work, who's going to do it for me? How you don't ask all those questions when you know no one gave him anything. No one in the physical world doesn't have anything to give you. The ball doesn't have anything to give you, but it will give back what you gave it. So when you throw that ball against the wall, isn't the same ball coming back? That's like tithing. You're giving something to get back. So you're giving your awareness of being something to get it in physical form. But you're giving it to that right side of your brain that identifies only as I am, meaning as the end state. I am or I am not. The end state as being the desire fulfilled. That is tithing. But if you want to give it some, like Cain did, you're going to be mad. Well, I want to be. Yeah, but I tried. Yeah, but I thought. Yeah, but I meant to. Yeah, no, you just gave it a little bit of what you thought you could spare or afford. But like I said, divinity, consciousness is binary. I am or I am not. A house divided against itself cannot stand. You can't be I am and I am not. You can't be rich and poor. You can't be sick and healthy. You're either one or the other. Period. Did that answer your question?
It absolutely does. A few years ago, I was being married before I met my husband. There wasn't a suitor in sight. I wasn't even dating, but I just beed married. And a family member would ask me something, and I would say, "Oh, I have to ask my husband." And they will, like, I'm sure I was the talk of the family, like, "Oh, she's crazy." And I just didn't let any of that affect me, and I would just be married. And literally 8 months later, I met someone. And then he was like, "Will you marry me?" So I just bead. And I wasn't worried about how. It didn't bother me. I wasn't in a space of, oh no, is it going to happen? I wasn't worried about it. I just bead. Yeah. I just bead it.
Mhm.
Yeah. That was good. Thank you.
And that is what this is. When you're I am, all you're doing, what is I am? Being. Is I am going to be? Is just I am. And what did he say? That is my name unto all generations. When Moses asked, I am that I am. That is my name unto all generations. Not I was, not I'm going to be. There's no moment in time that you are not, that you are going to be, or that you was, or that you're I am. There's only the present. Ever. There's only the present moment. There's only now. That's it. But you know what happens? Most people will never give themselves permission to be anything different because of the past or their assumed future. No, most people won't give themselves the permission to be there. Most people don't tithe. That's why the windows of heaven can't open. What? I'll open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing you have not room enough to receive. That's why most people, the windows of heaven don't open for most people, because they haven't tithed. They're unwilling for whatever reason. They tell themselves, I don't have a degree. So you have a desire to have a business. Well, I don't have a degree. I don't have any funding. Nobody's ever had a business. Well, the economy's bad. Now's the right time. Now's the right time. My husband said no. My kids don't like me. How am I going to get my kids from daycare? They're unwilling to assume the awareness, like Monique said, of being their end. If you be the end, you'll meet somebody. If you be the end, the grandma will decide. She decided. She didn't decide she didn't decide. She was the one used that already was available for that. Because creation is finished. What does that mean? That means every version of yourself and every version of every person you know already exists. So when you become a different you get access to a different them. They treat you, they are the ball, they're the wall that you are throwing yourself at, and they're throwing it right back at you. Whoever you're being is what you're getting from them. You think they have a choice. They don't have a choice any more than the wall does. They're only reflecting back what you're throwing out. You're only throwing out who you are. So when you want your spouse to treat you differently, they can't until you become a different you. They can't treat you different than who you are. And who's deciding who you are? It's you. So then if you want a new them, you have to first be a new you. They don't like me. They don't spend time with me. They talk bad to me. They don't come home on time. Okay, well, you're being the you that can happen to. So now become the you, tithe. Become the you that doesn't. Oh, I'm always prioritized. I'm always chosen. They can't wait to get home to me. They call me all the time. I have to tell them, stop calling me. But go to work, be at work. What you doing? Right? Like I have to tell them, like, okay, there's no more room to put the flowers out here. See, but you know what? The older brother will tell you can't do that. The older brother will get angry. The older brother will call you crazy. The older brother, the older brother, the family, the world that can't give you anything will still talk about you. The world that can't give you anything will still talk about you. And guess what you do when you sin? You listen. And as soon as you listen, you have separated yourself from that version of that man or that woman or of that business or of your health. You've separated yourself because you listen to the world that can't give you anything. But when you said, I just be, they came. Because what did it say? Seek first. That is being. Seek first the kingdom of God. Seek first within you. Seek first. Be first in your awareness, that which you desire to physically express. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Righteousness meaning right thinking. Right thinking is, I am what I want to be right now. I'm it. And all these things will be added. He came. The money will come because it already exists, but it's not separate in that sense. It's just a different version of you. And you're like a circle. You're all versions right now. You just may be looking out this way. And the version of you that's rich is this way. So you have to transform. You have to move in mind and now become that. Once you become that, it's already there. Every desire you have is just intended to get you to redefine your self-concept, yourself, who you think you are. It's there to incentivize you, to inspire you. So when you want to have $1 million business, or when you want your business to go to 2 million, you start identifying yourself as a $2 million. Oh yeah, I make over 2 million a year. My business makes over 2 million a year. You start being immediately. But what does your human mind say? What does your left mind say? Well, how are you going to do that? Well, you know, it's going to take what took you 2 to 5 years to get here. It's going to take you got 2 to 5 years. You're going to work it. You really? No. It is I'm being. So if I'm being, how can it take 2 to 5 years if I'm being now? I'm already it now. What I say, this is binary. This ain't no 2, 3, 4. It's 0 or 1. You are or you aren't. So if you are being, how are you waiting? What are you waiting on? You're only waiting because you're not being. You're only saying it takes time because you're not. Because you're aware of not being. That's the only time you say it takes time. That's the only time you say, where is it? That's the only time you say, how is it going to happen? How is it going to come? Well, tell me my next steps. That is aware of not being. Because if you were, would you be worried about next steps? If you were already making 2 million, what steps would you be taking to be what you already are? Right? If you are Monique, what do you have to do to be Monique today?
Nothing. I just bead.
So if you now say, I am a $2 million business owner, what do you have to do to be that?
Be that.
Why do we think that's different? Why do you think your name is different than a $2 million business owner? Okay, if you go from 1 million to 2 million, let's just say that's different, right? Have you ever seen people in humanity change their name? Did Malcolm X change his name? So then why do you think your name is more real than $2 million? If you could change your name, you could change your account, can't you? Hello? Hello? What?
Yes.
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 Right? Why do you think that's more real? If you can go down to the courthouse and change your name, why can't you go in your mind and change your account? Why not? Didn't it take an idea to go change your name? So then why do you think an idea can't change your account? And if you have an idea to change your name and you go to the court and you do it legally, won't you now be identified as that new name? Well, if you go take that idea in your mind and change your mind, don't you think the law, I am awareness, is going to judge you that legally and say, okay, you are that? Then this is what it is. I am broke is an expression of a law. I am rich is an expression of a law. The lawyer is I am. They're both. You just identify yourself as something. You change your name. The law is going to treat you according to the name you have decided. So if you decided your name is broke, then the law is going to be like, yeah, right on. Here's all your paperwork. Here's all your problems. There you go. I am rich. Okay, right on. Here's all your paperwork. Here's all your successes. Here you go. It's giving you the paperwork according to your own awareness, to the idea you created. So you created your reality. You created your experience. You did that. All right, questions, comments?
Coach, first of all, thank you, Vero. I can't thank you enough for introducing a lot of us to Coach Lucky, because these gems are like, I feel like we bead, shout out to Monique, we bead who we had to be in order to be in a space like this, to hear the information this way. We were ready to hear information like this way because we were tired of being lost and tired of doing it wrong, tired of showing up to church every week. And my biggest set of flowers that I can always give you is that you were the first person in my life who broke the Bible down in a way that it totally makes sense. It's not just these parables that are just above my pay grade and these stories that are confusing, but I'm taught to memorize them and to adjust to them, even though I didn't truly understand them. You were the one who made the stories make sense and put the accountability right back in my face. Like, this has nothing to do with Cain or Abel. This has to do with you. This is about you. These stories literally pertain to you, and this is how you just broke down tithing. We grew up in the South. You know, you're going to give your money, you're going to show up, you're going to put on these outfits every Sunday, you're going to put on a show, you're going to do all this hoopla ploopla, and it has nothing to do with you being who you need to be, understanding who I am is, how this applies to you. All of this accountability is back on you. Every week I'm like, man, this is gonna be another fire replay. This is gonna be another fire replay. I can't wait to share this replay. Coach, just thank you. And it's not to hype you up or to gas you up. You know, it's just like more even the people who you refer us to, those videos that you send out, just people understanding how the Bible, I left the Bible alone. I was angry with the Bible for a long time. So to hear you say like, oh, this is a really great book, this is one of the best books, I'm just sitting there like, man, I'm gonna have to adjust to that, because I let the Bible go a long time ago because of the way I learned the Bible. I had no idea that these stories were really in my favor. I had no clue. I was just taught to memorize them. And if you don't memorize them or you embarrass the church in other competitions against other churches, then you're somebody to be ashamed of. You should be ashamed of yourself. It was just toxic. So here I am giving the Bible another chance. And I couldn't be more proud of myself for just being here, because I didn't want to be someone who hated Christians or hated, the way that I was brought up, or the people who that's all they knew. But here I am learning a different way and a better way. And this is because this is who I've always been. So flowers and kudos, Coach. Thank you. Vero, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. It's always good to see you, hear from you. Yes, definitely. Thank you for coming. Wonderful.
All right, Sarita.
I don't know if this was said on here, this story, but this whole entire thing reminded me of the story of the elderly devout woman who prayed, Lord, Lord, I need food. Lord, Lord, I need food. But she had this skeptical, cynical neighbor that would say, God isn't real. Why are you praying? And he got so upset, like, of her prayers. He got so tired of her prayers because she would pray every day and he would get upset every day that he, thinking that he was being, his plot, went to the market, bought all of these food, all of these lavish food, put it outside her door, hid. And she came out and started thanking God, thanking God, thanking God, thanking God. And he popped out and said, you thanking God, I bought that. And she started thanking God again and started thanking God again because she said, you bought what I needed and you used the devil to do it. I just thought about like so many different things that, like what you were saying today just put me in mind of the different ways that when I stay true to who I truly am, how he even uses the people that are not believers to my advantage. So I just think, yeah, so good.
Remember in the book where it says the wealth of the sinners is laid up for the just? Right? You look it up in that same book, it says the wealth of the sinners is laid up for the just. You against them because I am is everything, right? But I am is that same son who's out there sleeping with the pigs, who was the same son whose father gave him everything, and the same son whose father welcomed him back home. See, a lot of us, that's one good thing I can say about growing up with my mom. Like in the back of my mind, I knew no matter where I was, what I was doing, I could always go home. So when I go home and see my mom, I got money. I can go to stay in a hotel. I can go stay wherever I want to stay. But I go and go sleep. I don't even take the room. I sleep on the couch. There's a brown couch she has back in the den. And they know when I come home, clear it out. I'm on the couch and everything. It's my favorite. It's like my comfort food. It's like my favorite thing. Like Linus with a blanket. It's my favorite thing. Right? I'm 50 years old going home sleeping on my mom's couch. I love it. It makes me feel like I'm 9 or like I'm 12. It's just a wonderful thing. But I say all that to say that in this story, when the prodigal means wasteful, right? But when the prodigal son left and realized, hey, let me just go back home. He knew in the back of his mind, I could always go home, right? I can always go home. So he's like, maybe I have to go home to something different, but at least it's an option because the world can't give me anything. I can't stay out here. So when he came back home, look at how his father treated him. My son is home, and he restored him. Your awareness of being is not critical of you. Your awareness of being is not your older brother. Your I amness is not your older brother. It doesn't care how many kids you got, if you didn't finish high school. It doesn't care if you're about your husband or your wife. It doesn't care about all the things that your older brother, that your human mind starts telling you is a problem, is an issue. Why'd you do that? You didn't go to college. I told you, you should have done it. Why'd you marry him? I told you not to do it. Why'd you marry her? I told you not to do it. You should have stayed in. You shouldn't have majored in that. You should have did this. That's the older brother. That is your human logic mind that will tear you down, mess you up, and it'll make you so afraid of changing that you won't even try. It'll make you so afraid of being your desire, you will kill it. You will literally kill it. You will, in your logic mind, kill that desire. And your awareness saying, man, if you just would have gave me, don't you know I would have done? Don't you? So your logic mind is your Cain killing your Abel. So, well, why'd you do that? Judging you, criticizing you, yelling at, oh, well, why? You did this for him. Why would you do all that? It is your logic mind talking to your awareness saying, well, why are you going to help him out? Why is she going, why, for what? And your awareness saying, man, look, we're all one. Everything I have is yours. But I've come back to my right mind. I was lost. Now I'm found. I'm back. Right? The king is back. The queen is back to reclaim my fame. You can always go home. You can always return back to your true nature, who you really are. I am. The only problem you have is when you're not I am, when you're not aware of who you are. Then you you start believing in separation. So you create it. You create it and you believe in it. Well, maybe there's a devil. Well, maybe there's somebody out there getting me. Maybe there's people hating on me. Maybe there's people jealous of me. Maybe there's people who don't understand me. Maybe there's people who don't like me. You've created that. You've created that. Whether it was something, it was your own original creation or the acceptance of somebody else's. Right? But you have to realize that your awareness loves you unconditionally. I am loves you unconditionally. That is who you are. I am is love. Awareness is love. So if it is loved, it is loving. And it is loved. I am, the earth is the Lord's. The earth is I am's and the fullness thereof. You are rich. That's not something to try to be. That's not something to try to chase. That's not something, it is just something to become aware of being. It is something to start being in awareness, start identifying yourself as that thing. Not tomorrow, not today, not when, not if, not after, not your family said, not the pastor said, not the mom said, not the priest said, not the pope said. I said. I am. I said, I'm rich. I don't need nobody's help, nobody's support, nobody's belief, nobody's agreement. I don't need no accountability partner. I don't need nobody to hold my hand, rub my back, rub my butt, rub my head. I am. I'm tired enough. When he was sleeping in that pig pen, was there anybody around to help him out? But guess what? He got tired enough to be there and he stopped looking for it. He didn't need no accountability partner. Well, he had some, the pigs. How about that? The world is your accountability partner. Your bank account is your accountability partner. Your health is your accountability partner. Aren't you tired enough of looking at something you don't want to see? Mm-hmm. Well, what? You don't need nobody to hold your hand. You can see your account. You can feel your leg. You can look at your job. That's accountability. That's enough account. That's not enough accountability for you. That's not enough. I mean, well, how much more do you need? How much longer should he have slept out there to get the point? One good night in the cold, butt naked with nothing in your stomach is enough, right? So he said, what did he say? He came to himself. See, there's only one truth. You got to come back. That's why I say the things I say. That's why I don't care if anybody likes it, agrees with it. You'll be back. Because if you want to be free, you need the truth. And so you got to go where you hear it. You got to go where they got it. And I know I got it. Now, I know I got it. Come here and go anywhere else where you know truth is. It ain't me. I'm not praising me, not this flesh and bone thing. That ain't nothing. Don't follow anybody. Follow the information. Follow the truth. Wherever it goes, if a cat is out there giving a game, sit down and shut up and listen. I don't care who's telling it. If it's the truth, listen, because that's where freedom is. That's where you remain free, or that's where you are set free. So this is not a me thing. Don't make it a body thing, a human body thing, right? Nobody is too good to tell a lie or to tell the truth. Figure out which one you're hearing and tune your ear to truth like you turn a music instrument so that it plays well, right? That is what we're following a whole bunch of stuff because of this or that, but it's not the truth. And you want to be a good person, you thinking you're this or that. If you're not hearing the truth, you're not free. And you will never be until you hear it. So you make that your only mission is to go wherever truth lies. It don't matter what they look like, sound like. It don't matter what it makes you feel like. If it's the truth, it will work for you. You can use it to free yourself in whatever area they're talking about or whatever area you can apply it to. Because that's your nature. Your nature is the truth. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Right. It's your nature to be true. So if the truth sets you free, it's your nature to be true and free. Free. It's your nature to be free. What are you fighting for freedom? What the hell does that mean? I don't know that. How can you fight for something that's your nature? What does it take to be Monique? What does it take to be Sarita? What does it take to be Ronette? What does it take? You're fighting to be Ronette? What does that mean? And who are you fighting? You're fighting to be free? That's you. Free and Ronette is the same thing. If you can go from slavery to freedom, you can go from Ronette to Clarice if you decide to change your name. So they're not really you. They're just what you're aware of being, what you're calling yourself. You can change that anytime you want. So then what are you fighting for? Or who are you fighting? If you're going to change your name, is somebody going to be out there squabbing up on you, squaring up? Who are you fighting to change your name? Who are you fighting to go from I am broke to I am rich? Who are you fighting? There is no one. What does it say? Against you, Father, only have I sinned. Against your own awareness of being, have you made the mistake that you're not wealthy, that you're not healthy, that you're not happy? That is your true nature. Only against your true nature have you made this. Have you identified yourself as, I don't have those things. I can't have those things. I got to work for those things. I got to earn those things. You got to put your time in, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. For what? For who? For who? I got to put my time in for what? You? I didn't pray to you. I'm talking to you, but I'm not praying to you. But you know there's a difference. Do you know there's a difference? You know you can ask your boss for a raise, but if they say no, it doesn't end there. You're just like, okay, I'm going to go and look into the perfect law of liberty. I am freedom. So I want a raise. What do I want? I'm making 20. I want 25. I'm now 25. I'm making $25 an hour. And it's wonderful. I'm out here killing it. I'm out here kicking it. I'm out here doing it. I make $25 an hour, period. I don't need your help. I don't need you. I don't need you. I am, and that's it, period. Right? Whatever you decide, whatever you choose when you pray, believe you have, and you will. Believe you have it. When you have in mind, you will have in hand. When you throw that ball off that wall, it is coming back. And it's the same ball that you threw. So what you getting back right now, you threw. Disrespected, you threw. Disliked, you threw. Avoided, you threw. All that stuff you threw. Throw something else. How do you do that? Stop talking that way. Stop assuming it to go that way. Stop allowing that and accepting that in your mind. Stop telling yourself that this is the way it is. I can't do nothing about it. Stop telling yourself they just don't like me. Stop telling yourself they don't understand me. Stop telling yourself they're hating on me. Stop telling yourself they're jealous of me. They're envious of me. I got problems. I got to manage it. I got to stop telling yourself that. You don't like it because it don't feel good. It doesn't feel good because it's not the truth. And how do you think a lie is supposed to make you feel? You're supposed to feel good with it? You like when people lie to you, but you don't mind when you lie to you. I can't afford it. That's a lie. Now, it may not be out of malice, but ignorance of the law is no excuse either. Maybe you didn't know better, but if a 4-year-old crossed the street without looking, so knowing better, don't stop nothing. If you don't, that's no excuse. Well, I didn't know. I don't stop that Mack truck from coming down the street. So that's why you don't let a 4-year-old in the street by themselves. Because ignorance of the law is no excuse. So whether you do it in ignorance or whether you do it in stupidity, how you talk to yourself, what you think about yourself, that's where everything comes from. That is the beginning that we were saying earlier. That's the beginning. That's the start. That's the gene. That's the gender. In the beginning, I am created everything. So everything that's created, everything you see in your physical world, I am created. So that means, and creation is finished. So now all you're doing is creating by selecting. And you select the physical experiences you're having by I am, by who you're aware of being. And how do you know what you're aware of being? By what you say. How do you talk to yourself? When you drop something, what do you say? When you get a bill, what do you say? When your phone rings, what do you say? When you go to work, what do you say? When you have your own business, what are you saying? What are you thinking is true? What are you believing to be true? What is today? Group can't answer. What is today?
Saturday?
Damn it, you failed. What is today?
This is my day.
It's me.
My day.
My day. So if it's my, that means it's your possession. So that means it's you. Who's the one giving it life? Who's deciding how it goes? Who's the one experiencing it? It's you. This is the day the Lord has made. This is the day I am has made. I am is who?
Me.
Me. So what is today?
My day.
That's right. Me. It's you. It's your day. It's going according to how and who and what you are. Today don't have no say. It's what you say it is. You're the one who created it. No. No. Get it right. Today is me. It's my day in physical form. So how it goes is how I went. That's how it went, is how I went. It's going the way I am. Doesn't matter how things are, it only matters how you are. That's all that matters, is how you are. Who am I? That's the greatest question of all time. Who am I? And the greatest answer is in the question, I am. Who am I? I am. What is that? Everything, all things, all that is, all there is, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end, the first, the last, the author, and the finisher. That's it. El Chapo, El Nino, and El Negro. How about that? How about that? Yeah, I gotta give you a little something extra. Make sure you show up. It's what it is. So all these, so sometimes we got to make sure we understand, like my family says, understand what it is to be understood about what's real. None of us know what that means, but we all understand it. All right? But all these are all stories, but they're all stories about you. This is all about you. People make that sound bad, but if you know how to think, you realize it is. It is all about you, because everything that's coming back to you in physical form is a reflection of your consciousness. And what came back to you is because of what you put out. And what you put out is because of who you thought you were. And when you separate yourself from your Father, when you stop realizing who you are, suffering occurs. You've now turned on the suffering button. As soon as you do it, you start falling. You start descending. You may not realize it right away, but you start descending. You start your fall. The fall of man, the fall of mind. You begin your descent. Right? This is what it is. This is how this works. This is how this goes. What is today? Me. So how's it going to go? Depends on how I go. It's waiting on me. The day ain't doing nothing but waiting on me. Right? It's waiting on you. This is the day that you made to rejoice and be glad in. So if you were just yourself, guess how the day would go? It'd be full of rejoicing and gladness. Whatever that is to you, spending time with your friends, your family, running your company, going to take a walk, playing with your dog, whatever it is to you. But we would all be doing the same thing, rejoicing and being glad. That's how the day is supposed to go. That's what you made the day for. So why should it go some other way? Oh, the days are hard. Times are hard. Who is talking? Who is saying that? Who's on the phone? You ever been talking to somebody and then somebody else get on the phone? Hey, Uncle so-and-so. Hey, Aunt so-and-so. You're like, who is that? Oh, okay. This is the day the Lord has made. I'll rejoice and be glad in it. Girl, it's hard out here. Who was that? Who's that on the phone? Who got on the phone? Who's talking? I know that wasn't you, was it? Girl, that wasn't me. Yeah, I hope not. Bro, I hope that wasn't me. I hope it wasn't. You made the day to rejoice and be glad in it, and you're going to call it hard. Why would you do that? What are you talking about? This is binary. It either is or it isn't. This is the day to rejoice and be glad in, or it's hard. Which one are you picking? But just be aware that you're picking. Ain't no judgment or no criticism. You're the one that got to live it. But which one are you picking? And why would you pick anything but the thing you created it for? Why would you create it to do one thing and then not do that thing with it? That's like getting married and then telling the person, I'll see you next lifetime. Well, why in the hell would you get married if you're never going to see him again? Why would you do that? Well, what are we doing here? This is the day that we made to rejoice and be glad in. That's what you should be doing with it. In your right mind, that's what you are doing with it. Whatever rejoicing and gladness is to you. Like I said, working at your company, washing your car, fixing your car, putting air in your tires, riding your bike, walking, spending time with your family, getting on an airplane to go to your favorite conference, whatever it is you do. But that's the common denominator is we should all be doing the same thing. It doesn't have to look the same. It just has to represent the same thing. We don't all look the same, but we all represent the same thing. I am. Not I'm going to be, not I want to be, not I hope to be, not I wish to be, not if they let me, not after I talk to my boss. I'm not going to get a raise after I talk to my boss. As soon as I decided I got a raise, I got a raise. Talking to my boss may or may not happen, but if that's what needs to happen, that's what will happen, but it's not coming from my brain. It's coming from my awareness. It's coming from my mind. It's coming from my mind that onboards my brain, because now I'm the person that was at 20. Now I'm the new person at 25. So I onboard the new person. Here's how we live. Here's how we mop. Here's how we ring up the bell. Here's how we live. I've onboarded my brain. This is how it is. So if I've onboarded my brain and I give my brain the idea to talk to my boss, then my brain will do that. If I don't, then it won't. But my omniscience, the employee knows what to tell the employer. The employer knows what to tell the employee. You know what to tell the person that works for you. What time should I work? I don't know. What should I wear? I don't know. Is that what you think you say to your employee that you hired? So why do you think your omniscience, why do you think your mind doesn't know what to tell your brain? But your mind is always telling your brain based on what your brain is telling itself it is. That is your free will. Sarita gets free will. Ronette gets free will. You get to use your brain to choose who you want to be. And your omniscience, your mind, will onboard it. Okay, we're the best. Cool, we're the best. Then that's it. Here's the arm. Here we go. This is how we think. As Ronette, I'm the best. Okay, Ronette, I'm the best, thinks a certain way. Amanda, I'm the best, thinks the best her way. Both are true. Period. You don't have to earn that. No, who's going to give it to you? If you have to earn it, who's going to give it to you? Who owns I'm the best? Anybody own that? Who owns that? I'm the best. Who are you calling? What phone number is that? What email is that? Who is that? Nobody owns I'm the best, because it's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. So it's not something to chase. It's not something to earn. It's not something to work for. It's something to identify yourself as. I am the best. I am and the best are one. So then I am onboards the brain and says, this is what the best looks like with us. And just like Karen is so good at, I'm the best. Karen is good at, I'm the best at everything then. Karen will spread out the best like mayonnaise on some sandwiches. She'll go from, I am the best. She may say employer. I'm the best employer. Then Karen will go, well, I have the best Ken. I have the best money. I have the best family. Karen will spread it out. She's good at that. I am the best goes to everything, not just one thing. I am wealthy in everything. Love, health, money, success, peace, joy, relationships, family, time. I have more than enough. Right? You are something, and you are that in every area of your life, not just one thing. I am successful in everything. Why be a success in your company and be a failure in your house? Why would you do that? No, be a success in everything. Understand that who you're being shows up everywhere. Guess what? When Monique goes somewhere today, she is everywhere she's going. She is what? What?
The best.
Yes, but she is what?
Monique.
Monique. So if you now say I'm the best, that's the same thing as saying Monique. They're the same thing. They require I am to be both. So everywhere you go, if you say I'm the best, then everywhere you go today, you are
The best.
Everything you say is
The best.
Everything you do is
The best.
Everyone thinks you are
The best.
So what is your problem?
Right.
Don't have none.
How could you have any unless you're making them up? You making them up. Just like a 5-year-old lying. Now you know you making that up. Okay, right. You making up. All the problems you have, you just made them up. You made them up. Nobody can give them to you. Nobody's sitting there throwing problems into heaven. Yeah, it ain't like putting no trash out on the curb early in the morning when no one's around. Get out the car. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Wipe your fingerprints off the back. Right? Like, no, hey, you can't ditch your problems up in heaven. It ain't gonna work. You got to keep them problems with you. No, it's not gonna work. Right? If you are the best, if you are prosperous, if you are abundant, if you are successful, if you are healthy, if you whatever you are that everywhere with everything and everyone. That is not a choice. The only choice is, who are you? Who do you say you are? That ain't something to earn. It's not something to work for. It's not something to chase. It's not something to fix. It is a perfect, complete, whole state right now. All you gotta do is move in. It's you. It's just not the you you've experienced, because you can't experience that part of you because you haven't identified yourself as that. You want to be wealthy, but you're not identifying yourself as that in your mind. You think you have to see it in your hand before you see it in your mind. So that you're stopping yourself from seeing it in your mind. So you're stopping yourself from being it. So if you're stopping yourself from being it, the question then becomes what? What is the question then?
Who am I?
Then who are you being? If you're not being what you want to be, the only thing left is
A stranger.
or
Nobody.
who you don't want to be. You're either being who you want or who you don't want. What I say? This is binary. Stop fooling yourself thinking, well, I'm kind of a little bit. You're not. Okay? You're not. You are or you are not. You have it or you don't. That is tithing. You either gave the first fruit or you gave what's left over, but they ain't the same. You're either Cain or you're Abel. But the Lord don't see you the same. The Lord loves you the same, but doesn't see you the same. Because you determine how the law saw you by how you acted. What do you mean? You know, if you did what you're supposed to, you would have got what you got. Why are you sitting there acting like you don't know what's going on here? You don't live here. What? This ain't no tax collector. This ain't no bill collector. You home. You heard what I said. You know what we're talking about. That's why the Lord talked to him that way. Because it was rhetorical. You already know better. If you want to be something and you are unwilling to tell yourself you are that, then just understand that you aren't. And until you're willing to tell yourself you are, just understand that you aren't. Wanting to be, liking to be, hoping to be, wishing to be, telling everyone about it does not mean you are. It means you're not. You're only I am or I am not. You are never both at the same time. You can be both, but you can never be both at the same time. So you're only one or the other. You are 0 or 1. Take your pick, your choice, but you are what you chose. You are what you chose. Because I am is what? I am is what? Word of the day, I am is what?
Me.
Yeah, I am is what?
Now.
I am is what?
Already.
Already. You already that. What does it say? I know what you have need of even before already you ask. Before you ask, I'm already aware. You're already aware before you say. So what you say didn't make you aware. So when you say I am broke, you're not broke because you said it. And you didn't say it because you just got here. You were already aware of being broke, which is why you are here, which is why you're saying it. You're already before you say. You're already that thing you're saying. You're already that thing you're thinking about. You're already that. That's why you're saying it. That's why you're thinking. You're already. So be the already you want to be. I am. That means already. I am rich. Already rich. It's true. I am sick. Already sick. When you say you're sick, aren't you expressing what's happening? So, well, what makes things happen? I am. So already. You've already been. You already were. I mean, like this is already, it's present tense. It's already. It's already. There's only now. It's already. You're already. I am already. Think about it. Make a choice. Choose this day who you serve. This is my day to rejoice and be glad in. I'm gonna use this day for what I made it for. And I didn't make it to cry, complain, whine, be a victim of something, victimized in the Olympics of the victims. I'm not running that race. I'm not in that participant. I'm not in the victim Olympics. It's not happening. Not happening. Yeah, people in the Olympics catch a cramp. People in the Olympics, stub their toe. Yeah, but so what? I'm in the Olympics. I'm winning. It's what it is. I'm here to win. Victory only, victory always. There's a victory in all things. Period. That's not negotiable. It's not debatable. Nobody gets to tell me nothing. That's maturity, knowing who you are. Right? All right, questions, comments before I let you go.
Coach, I hate to ask this question. Honestly, I hate to ask this question because I want to replay this back for some people. I'm probably saying this wrong. I'm sure I'm saying this wrong. I'm going to send this replay out, right? But I'm concerned. If I'm not being something, but I'm receiving that thing, and I'm determined to have, like, my mindset is optimism, positive. Been like this since I was born. Smiled through the crazy stuff, like just push through whatever. But the people who I care the most about, um, there's a group of people that I care most about. They're not in that same headspace. Everything you're saying, like, they don't process that way. This is happening because I'm being tested. This is happening because, like, and it's a lot of negativity. And then I go step outside of that world and I go into worlds like this, spaces like this, where we're talking this way and we're holding ourselves accountable. And I just want to bring my people with me, if that makes sense. I haven't figured out yet the right way to communicate. In this space, we just flow. There's never been a beef in this space. There's never been a slap in the face verbally or anything in a space like this. Because of the world that I came from, I learned how to be violent. I learned how to be aggressive. I learned how to be, you know, this is how I learned how to defend myself because I was just trying to protect that softness and that innocence. And I'm trying to figure out, even to this day, you and I have talked recently. I'm trying to figure out how do I bring my tribe with me? Because these are the people that matter to me the most. I'm a little, so what am I being that is not making this a smoother pathway? Am I being afraid that they won't get it? They won't conform? They don't want to learn? Like, they're just stubborn? Like, am I just focused on what they've been? What am I doing wrong?
First of all, asking the question itself is letting you know one thing, right? The fact that you think you're doing something wrong is only because you think you're doing something wrong. So if you think you're doing something wrong, you can't get something right. So when you think you're doing something wrong, it's letting you know that you're aware of being wrong. And if you're aware of being wrong, you can't get your desired end because your desired end is right. It's the opposite, right? So first of all, we have to go back to the first thing, which is we create our own reality. That literally means reality means everything and everyone in it. But we have to understand what reality is. Everything and everyone in it, in our world, everything and everyone in it is the physical expression of who we think we are in relation to this thing. Who do I think I am? And because of who I think I am, I now have a relationship with this thing. So that's how I act with this thing, and that's how this thing acts to me, right? If we cannot bring anything in hand that we don't first have in mind. In the beginning, I am. I am is before all creation, before all physical expression. So before anything that we can be physically expressed the way we want to physically experience it, we have to have that awareness and consciousness. We have to be the person who's having that experience. We can't want to be that person. We can't hope to be that person or work to be that person, because while we're hoping, wanting, and working, we're still not. We can only be that person. And if we are that person, then we would not describe things the way we describe them. So for a quick example for everyone. So I had this example yesterday in the group. I'm going to show you how perception works, perspective works. I was watching a movie. So everybody pay attention. I was watching a movie and somebody tripped and fell. What movie was I watching? What was I watching?
You were watching.
People in the group. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You were watching a movie. We don't know what movie you were watching.
Why not?
You didn't tell us.
Why do I need to tell you?
In order for us to know the movie, you would have to tell us what movie you were watching.
Yeah, but I said what type of movie? Okay, what type of movie was I watching?
You didn't tell us.
Why does it matter? Somebody slipped and fell. Why does it matter?
Because that doesn't tell us what type of movie you were watching.
Why does that matter?
In order for us to tell you what type of movie you were watching, you would have to give us details. We weren't there watching it with you.
Yeah, but somebody slipped and fell. What type of movie was it?
I'm not sure.
Why not?
I wasn't there with you. That was you were watching the movie.
Oh, kind of, but kind of no. Why not? I'm gonna shorten it up. Because
you didn't label.
I'm sorry?
I was gonna say you didn't label it, like give us a title, but sorry, you could shorten it up.
No, go ahead. So Erica, so I was watching a movie, somebody slipped and fell. What type of movie was I watching?
It could have been any type
Why?
because somebody falling could have happened in any scenario.
Correct. So then what does that tell you about slipping or falling? Slipping or falling.
It happens to every movie.
Okay. So then the action doesn't matter. It's only matter based on the type of movie you think you're watching. If somebody slips and falls, it's a comedy, we laugh. If somebody slips and falls in a horror film, right, we like, girl, get up, or girl, get up, run, because to them that signifies death, right? But the action of itself doesn't really tell you anything. It only matters to you in the context of the type of movie that you're watching. So when you tell yourself, I am not, and you slip and fall, that seems like death. When you tell yourself, I am what I want to be, slipping and falling seems like a comedy. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't stop you. So the action in of itself is not a reflection of the truth, or it's not a reflection of anything. But you interpret it as something based on the type of movie you are watching, based on what you told yourself. I am or I am not. That is how what slipping and falling means to you. So people's actions mean to you what they mean based on who you are, what type of movie, what state of mind you're in. You're interpreting and internalizing those actions as a reflection of that type of movie, as a reflection of that awareness of being. The action in and of themselves doesn't matter. Because that same action, you're laughing, and that same other action, you're like, girl, run, you're gonna die. The action doesn't really matter, but the action matters to us because we are internalizing it and interpreting it through the title of the movie. The world's actions, what you think is happening or happening to you, you are internalizing through the identity you have created for yourself. Am I a comedy or a horror? If it's a comedy, you laugh. If you're I am, you laugh. Why? Because you can't be stopped. The end is already decided. You're at home. You are wealthy, healthy. You are what you are. So the action doesn't matter. But when you don't know who you are, when you are I am not, it turns, let's just say, into a horror film. But the action is the same. So the action can't actually be the thing. That's not actually the determining factor. But that is the way we're internalizing it. But we're internalizing action based on what we chose. So then the action doesn't matter. People's actions, the world doesn't matter. We're internalizing and interpreting the world through our own identity, through what we've called our life, a horror or a comedy. So if you want someone to be something, you have to be that thing first. And you can't look at them and judge what they're doing on their own merit. You're judging it on your own consciousness. Is this a comedy or a horror? You choose that. Are they or are they not? You choose that. They're not choosing. Just like they didn't find the lady, they didn't find the grandma and say, give me some money. The grandma decided, but she could only decide after the two ladies decided first. We decide that we have this money. Because we decided your awareness knows how to get access to the version of that person who operates that way. We're trying to change people because we're trying to remain the same. We think we're changing, but we're not. We are changing some, but we're not transforming. We're not being a completely different version of ourselves. So we come and go, and so do they. When we transform, when we become the version of ourselves in the end as we choose to be, and we remain there, then the world, the access to that person who is the way we want them to be, which does exist, that's why we want it, because we are intuitively aware, subconsciously aware, I am aware that all things exist now. So you're getting access to a different version of that person. You're not changing that person. But you have to be the person that gets access to that person. You have to be transformed to get access to the transformed version of them. So the brand new you gets a brand new them. But a same you gets a same them. And we want a new them with the same us. We have to change. We have to remain changed. And then when we remain changed, the things we see change. And exactly to your question, and the second part, first, the things we see change, and second, how we identify the things we see changes. We call that slip and fall a comedy now, not a horror, as part of our good instead of proof that it's our bad. It's both what we see and how we identify it, or what we call it. Perfect. Okay, anyone else? Okay,
That was excellent, excellent.
good. Glad, Karen. Glad you liked it. Thank you for coming. Excellent.
Coach, I'm starting to sound like Sparkability. Like I love this every week. I love it every week. And no matter what I do all week, you're just like a reconfirmation constantly. You just everything that people in the real world will say you're crazy for, you just like, no, they're the ones who's not. They're the ones who's not in their right state of mind, and you're in a higher conscience, and you just give that reassurance. And I love you for this. No offense, Vero, I love you too, but yes. Like every week it's just like, hey, remember who you are. Remember that whatever thoughts you put in your head is coming to par. So stop thinking crazy because it's gonna keep coming. And and like you said, Tuesday. So I make sure Tuesday and Wednesday I remind myself not to think crazy just because I hear your voice in my head. So I just every week I just want to give you your flowers while we here, while you can smell them.
Thank you. It's so nice to have you. I really appreciate you. It's glad to see you again back after a while. So it's always so good to see you. And thank you so much for that. It's an honor and pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to rant, rave, and yell at you, everyone else. And thank you definitely for coming. It's wonderful. So thank you so much.
I just want to say too, it was really, really good today. I really enjoyed it. I really liked Monique's story about her just being in a relationship. That was good. Sometimes hearing the evidence from other people is like, oh, okay, yeah. So it's really good today. Thank you.
Thank you. Always good to see you, Leanne. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
All right, Vanessa, anything you want to say before we go?
All right. Thank you everyone for coming. We really enjoy Saturdays. And honestly, these Saturdays are a sample of what happened inside the youth circle. So we have only 7 spots left, and we want to keep it small. And the price is going up in April. So if you guys want to get grandfathered, hop in, slide through our DMs. I put the link in the chat. And also, if you guys just want to receive the notifications for these calls on Saturdays, you can subscribe to the Mental Academy in case, because I'm not always able to post in the communities I'm in that we're going live. So you'll get your own, notification an hour before the call. And yeah, these Saturdays are so fun. So I'm grateful for every single one of you and everyone who contributes. But yeah,
Perfect.
That's it.
Well, happy Saturday, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Remember who you are. Remind yourself who you are. That's all it is. Just remember who you are. Bring yourself back and remind yourself that you are I am. You are all that is. You are all there is. And therefore, there is no other. And so only what you say goes. Only what you allow and accept is. And you are the author and finisher of your reality, of your experience, and whatever you want it to be, it is. So I am is now. I am now. So wonderful. Happy Saturday. Have a great